Hello, everybody. Michael Louden here. Welcome back to Michael Louden TV. It's been a while since I've done a running recap. I haven't had a race for the past 2 weeks, and so this is my first race in over 2 weeks. I ran over in Otsego today, Ready or Not 5K. But before we get into that, I just want to thank you, everybody that's been subscribing to my channel and viewing my videos. I thank you for your support. I hope you like the videos. If there is anything else you would like to see, please feel free to comment on any of the videos or even this video. Feel free to follow me on Twitter as well. I'll post a link to that in the description below. You can comment to me on there as well. I'd like to do a Q&A video at some point. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, feel free to ask, and I'll do a video about those. I'll choose a few questions that we can do. I do have some videos planned for the future. I have planned to do some videos on video gaming, some playing of them, and some reviewing, and TV show reviews and movie reviews. I know I said I would do that with this channel. I just haven't had the time. Right now, I'm going on, but we are going to start that in at least by the end of the month. I'd say probably like around September. We'll start that. I'm actually going to be working on a new channel ad too that's a little shorter, so you can get the gist of what's going to be covered on this channel. But this is a running recap episode. And pardon me too, I'm actually not feeling the greatest. If you watched the video of Kathleen where she talked about her slicing the top of her finger, she had a cold, and I believe she gave a little bit of that to me. So I wasn't feeling 100% for today's race. I had a sore throat, and that kind of did bother me a little bit. I think the bug bothered me. I mean, I don't feel like my throat is not as sore as it was yesterday, so I'm probably already starting to get over it. I get over colds pretty quickly, but it did affect me a little bit in the race. I still did end up getting a medal. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But first off, here's the bib that we got. I was number 1162. If you already saw my time on there in place, I didn't do too bad place-wise overall. I don't think there was as many runners there had been there in the past, but let's see if I can get to you a visual of the shirt as well here. I'm going to put the camera down for just a second so we can get a nice visual of the shirt. It says Ready or Not 5K on it. It has the year 2015 5K race tested, and then on the back, of course, you have all your sponsors for the race that we want to just go ahead and thank for them sponsoring it, because otherwise we wouldn't have much of a race if you don't have sponsors to support you. So anyways, got there about an hour early or so I could get ready, grab my stuff, do some stretching, and of course use the restroom because I needed to do that. And met up with a few friends as well, Deb and her son Michael, and also met the other Michael as well, Michael Dutton, really cool guy. This was his 99th race he was running in, so give a shout out to him, and his wife Sherry was running as well. And I saw Gina, but she wasn't running, she was biking on the course, so I saw her probably near the 2-mile mark, if I can remember correctly. So anyways, and this race is put on by Steve Long, who's the coach for Otsego's cross-country team. I think he might be also their distance coach for track and field as well, but not entirely sure on that. Very nice guy, though. Ran with his son today, and actually both his son and himself actually ended up getting a medal, and Steve commented that this was his first ever medal in the Ready or Not race. Also, there was a couple of scholarships given away. Some of the proceeds of the race go to the Otsego Running Club, so they were able to give a scholarship that's both academic and athletic to one female and one male athlete. So congratulations to them. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but congratulations to them for receiving that. So anyways, the race started at 8 a.m. It was actually nice and cool today. It was in the 60s. Dew point was probably around 60, low, or probably like high 50s, but not terrible. So I mean, it was excellent weather. It was nice and sunny as well for the race. So I mean, we had a pretty good start to it. It was a little weird at the start actually because they counted down three, two, one, and then they sounded the horn. But I think they might have had a little trouble with the horn because everybody all of a sudden took off after one, and some of us were still standing there, and then they sounded the horn, and so like the start was kind of discombobulated. Everybody was all over the place. It was hard to get in a rhythm for probably like the first quarter mile because of that. I was running with a pack of the Otsego girls cross country team, and we hit about the first mile about 6:42. So it was a little slower than what I'm used to, but I mean, not feeling 100% today. I felt like, well, that's okay, but I wanted to speed it up at that point. So I ended up leaving them. I ended up passing a few runners. We got to the 2 mile mark, and I mean the course is nice and flat too. It's like the first mile, it's like straight out, and then you turn left about a quarter mile later, and then turn left again about another, maybe a little over a quarter mile later as well. So you've already run 1.5 miles, and then you run straight down another road. There's a little hill on the road too, but nothing too bad. And then you have a little downhill, and then it's flat the rest of the way, and you make a left-hand turn. Once you get back near the park, make another left-hand turn and another one, and then you just go right toward the finish line. So, anyways, let's go back to the race. I felt like I said pretty good at the mile mark, and then I sped up to about a 6:30 mile at the second mile, and at this point, I'm starting to feel like I think whatever Kathleen gave me this little bug started to bother me at that point because my throat was really dry. I was sweating. I think more than what I usually do during the runs because I'm just like wiping sweat off my face constantly with my shirt. I had to blow my nose a lot. I felt like I had some stomach cramps. I even felt like I had to use the restroom, and I'm just like, this is not my race. And I'm pretty sure that if any of you have ran before, there's always days where you're running, whether that's just a regular run or there's a race day where you just know at some point this just isn't my day. I don't have it. But you got to use those days like as motivation. Say, you know what, next time I'll go out and I'll do better. And I think I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself too because I've wanted to break 20 minutes again so badly. And it's just that I'm not in the greatest of shape to do that. I mean, I'm in good shape, don't get me wrong, but I haven't been doing speed work like I should have. And I've just started that again this week. So I'm going to continue that. So I think I need to set some reasonable goals here. Okay, so the last mile was just terrible. I was just telling myself to hold on at the end. I got passed by a couple of runners who actually I passed a little bit earlier in the race. So I ended up, crossing the line, trying my best, hardest to sprint to the end, doing the 1, 2, 3 quick step as we go around corners to just, get my stride out going again. Excuse me. And I ended up crossing the line in 21:11. So a little slower than the pace for poverty run that I had run at the beginning of July. And of course, I had run Steve's Raider Stomp after that and was back in the 20s. So, I mean, this race, is it disappointing that I got 21:11? Yeah, but I mean, still came away with a nice medal, actually. I got first place in my age group for the Ready or Not 5K, and this is the first time ever I've gotten first place in my age group. So, I mean, I've ran faster times as well. I mean, my fastest time, I looked it up, 2024 on this course. I set that 2 years ago. So, yeah, and that year I only got second in my age group. So here I am running a little slower, and I get first in my age group. So, I mean, I've got first, second, and third place medals for this race now. So, I mean, that's something, a lot of people probably can't even say. So anyways, going back to the goals part I was talking about, instead of saying, let's try to break 20 minutes, I'm going to set a goal first, like, let's try to break, 20:45. I know that's like 15, 20, 26 seconds. 26 seconds, off of this week's time. I don't have a race next week. I am running then again August 15th. That's the Allegan Strides for Health. I almost said Ready or Not. Allegan Strides for Health 5K, and that has a nice rolling course to it. So, I mean, there's some hills, but they're rolling, so they're not like, steep inclines, anything like that. And usually I run a pretty good time there, so with the speed work I'm going to put in, I should do pretty well. for that race. So I just got to look at it realistically. Let's start like by just saying 2045. I would like to beat that for the next race, and then kind of let's look after that and say, okay, let's look at 2030, 2015, and then 20. Just take it off in chunks, not try to take it off all at once, which is what I've been trying to do. Anyways, before we got our awards, there was a little raffle that was going on. They had some prizes. They had gift cards for places around the area, and some small little prizes too to give out. Like they had beef jerky with some peanuts. They had like hair care products. They had a crossbow. So really cool prizes. And I was one number away from being called. There was 1161 was called. So I was one number off from getting that. So maybe next year I'll win a raffle prize. I never have. And I mean, it's kind of just a crapshoot anyways for winning that. But I mean, had a lot of fun today. A very well organized race. Very well put on every year I've done this. This is like the 6th year I've, no, not 6. Let's see, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, okay, it is. I was right. 6th year I have done this race. So I have fun with it every year. I know there was another race going on today down in Mattawan, but just because I've done this one so many times, I just keep going back because of how well they put on the event, and they always do a good job with the awards and everything. So I can't wait for it next year. I will be a little more ready, hopefully. I just hope so. So anyways, next race, like I said, Allegan Strides for Health. That's in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, check out my channel. I'll post a link to that in the description as well, along with my Twitter. Check out some of my other videos I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a video a little bit later. You'll probably see tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the Detroit Tigers and the recent trades that they have done and just how bad they have been. And it's just not their year. And they've just wasted so much talent. I'll also be posting a video probably come Monday about going to Classic Arcade. That Kathleen and I went there over in Gobles. We went there a few weeks ago, so you'll see that. And then also a video about how to replace your cover art on your video games when you have some bad cases. And I ordered some bulk blank cases to use for the systems to do that. So you'll see that probably on Tuesday. So link to my Twitter in the description along with my channel. Subscribe for more content up in the corner. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This is Michael Louden over and out for the Ready or Not 5K recap.